Hey y'all, I'm Jen, and this is Sassy Southern Nancy Girl, and this is the final week of the Paper Doll collab hosted by Creating with Jovi and myself. And this week was Creator's Choice. If you've been following along with us, I hope that you've enjoyed this collaboration. And if you missed out on it, but you still would like to participate, if you post anytime, after the collab, just make sure you tag Jovi and I so we can watch your video, and I'll add it to my playlist. And Jovi created an heirloom little doll set to go with the paper doll collection, which I will link down below, along with the paper doll collection that she originally created. And then of course there are some freebies in her Facebook group, but these are adorable little girl and boy dolls. She created some new backgrounds, some words to go with it, and a couple of other fun elements. And you can go view that on her Etsy shop. But what I'm going to do today is make some vintage book page pockets for the journal that I'm going to be creating. So this book is a book from 1987. You can see that the edges are beginning to brown and look a little worn, some more than others. I absolutely love the way these pages look. And so we're going to make some pockets to go in the journal, and we're going to embellish those pockets. So all you have to do really is find you a book page that you want to use, and I'm going to decide which side looks most vintage. I think this side is a little bit darker, and I am just going to fold it in half here, and then I'm going to turn it over so that the words are facing correctly. I don't care about the back because that's going to be glued down to a page. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue this together. If you wanted to, you could do a double pocket, which I might do for at least one of these. And if that's the case, then you want to just glue around the edge. And I'm keeping the raggedy edges. I like that. I think it gives it some character. And so that way, just the sides are glued, not the whole thing. And then you'll have a pocket here, and then you'll have a pocket behind it when I glue it down. So there's one, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other ones. I am still going to ink the outside of this, and I will do that once I finish making the pockets. So I think we're going to go with this side. And since this page is kind of torn, I'm going to go along the back side to make sure that it gets glued down good on the edge. And actually, I'm going to do this whole, glue this whole thing down. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. I did. Yesterday was my husband's birthday, and we went to a soccer game between two really good teams. My son wasn't playing, but he did come with us. It was some of his teammates play for Bowling Green High School, and so we went to watch them play. They're the number 4 team in the state currently, or they were, and St. Xavier, which is the number 1 school in the state, and Bowling Green did lose 1-0, but my son wanted to go, check it out. And so we did that, and then we went to a birthday party. One of his best friends, his oldest son, or oldest child, which is a boy, had his 10th birthday yesterday, and they share a birthday. And my husband was also their best man in their wedding, and so we went over to celebrate both birthdays. And so after that, we came home. My son had a sleepover again with his best friends, and today I'm just crafting and relaxing. I have to go back to work tomorrow, so that's what I've been doing. And tomorrow I go back to the doctor. I guess he's a doctor. I'm not sure if they call him a doctor or if he's like has the title of occupational therapist. I'm not sure, but I go back to him tomorrow so he can evaluate the treatment that I've had for the last 4 weeks and determine if he wants to do next steps, which I'm hoping he will, because I am still in quite a lot of pain. Matter of fact, today, you probably won't be able to see, I don't even know if I can get my arm in here, but like right here, it's like super swollen compared to my other arm. It's much, much more swollen. I'm in a lot of pain, and this it's raining today, which is making it way worse, I think, and the cold weather has been making it worse, and so I am just not really in a good place right now as far as that goes. So I am hoping that he will send me to orthopedics to get the steroid injections to see if I can get some relief that way, because so far the other stuff is just not has not been effective. So we have one pocket, and I've already cut out my little dolls that I want to use and pulled out the word ephemera out of the kit, and I have the backgrounds as well. We're not going to do whole backgrounds on this. I'm just going to tear pieces off, but I wanted to do that with you guys on camera so you can see my process for how I do that. It's very similar to the way I was making the tags and such, but this is just going to be like pieces of it rather than like whole sections of a page, because there's just not enough space on here. And I really only care about some of the words showing through. They don't all have to show through. I care more about the vintage edges showing, and then the you know, the embellishments on the pocket. So I picked out these are new pages out of the new kit. I picked out the Christmas background, I picked out a fall background, and I picked out just this random solid background, but you're going to see it goes really well with the doll I picked. And so I love how, like, in my mind, I was already trying to have it come together, and I think it just really, really came together well. And then I have some trims and some flat backs and some paper scraps that I'm going to use on there, and yeah, we're going to get started. So I couldn't decide if I wanted like the fireplace or like this section here with a little bit of the window and a little bit of the Christmas tree, and I think that that's what I want to go with. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to rip this, and I will use, you know, the rest of this for something. I don't know what. Oh shoot. Actually, I forgot I wanted some of the fireplace in there, so I started tearing prematurely, and I guess I will just go ahead and tear that off. If nothing else, we'll make a masterboard collage with those pieces. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to tear this way, and then see, I want that, and then I guess we're not going to be able to fit much of the the fireplace, but that's okay. So we'll just do this little bit. So that's basically all I do. I just decide, you know, what I think looks the best as far as the background, and then also I am going to ink the edges, because some of the parts where I tore are white, because I tore them the opposite way, and I just want that to not look white. It doesn't have to look super aged or anything. I just want to get rid of the white. So that's all we're doing. We're not really trying to ink other than just to cover up any like light, bright white parts. And then we're just going to glue that down. But yeah, like I said, it's been raining today. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow and maybe part of Tuesday. I'm not sure. But the temperature has dropped drastically. We were still up in the 70s last week, and now we're down in the 60s and like 30s, 40s, and 50s at night. So, let's see. I want that glued down a little bit better. Okay. So what I did is I went ahead and pulled out, I'm going to use Believe, of course, because that's like, I pulled out this little puppy. I pulled out this little girl and this little guy dressed like Santa. And I don't actually know if they're both going to fit on here. I might have to... So that's gonna, she's gonna kind of cover things up. So we may actually not even go with her at all, because I really want the puppy on there. But I'm gonna cover this dog here with something. First of all, and then I also have this little bow, but I don't think I'm gonna use that because it's not flat. Although we could do a little piece of it, but I think I'll save that for another day. It's not really the right shade. I mean, it kind of is, but not really. Okay. So first what I want to do is take the Believe, and I'm going to ink it with some lumberjack plaid. Oops. And we're just gonna do that, and then I want to put it on a background. I'm gonna like double background it so that it stands out more. Oops, I'm doing the wrong side. And I also want to edge that to make it stand out better on the paper. We'll give it a darker edge. Alright, so there's that. And then we're going to glue this down onto this piece and then onto this piece. I just like how it's got like the lace doily look in the paper, so we're going to go with that. And you probably won't be able to see a whole lot of it, but that's okay. As long as you can see some of it. Alright, and we're gonna trim that up. And then glue this onto. And actually, before I even do that, I'm gonna go over this with some, I can't remember what I used, the walnut stain, so it shows up better on the red. And I might should have done the Believe the same way, but that's okay. this up with some walnut stain. Okay. So that can go maybe up there. And I did pull out some lace and some, I think I'm going to go with the lace. We're going to put a little strip of the lace down. And what I think I want to do is kind of drop it like that, so you're still going to see some of the words, and then we can put this on top of that, and then the puppy right there on top of that. And then I also have this flower that I think I want to kind of put here as well, kind of layer it. Alright, so we're going to use some Fabri-Tac to put the fabric down. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put the flower down. So I'm going to put the flower right there. That way I can put that in there like that, and we're going to use Fabri-Tac since this is going on top of the trim. I think it'll hold better. Okay, so stick that down, and then we're gonna put the little puppy down, and I think that will be, oh, I didn't put the little boy down, and then we'll put the Santa down, and I think we'll be good. There we go, that's so cute. Hopefully y'all saw all that. I'm not sure if I was entirely in frame. I love that. I think it's so cute. And you could also use this concept to make clusters for ephemera and different, you know, paper clusters, and, you know, use some fabric and some trim and some jimmies to decorate pages as well, that like you want to put a little something on there, but maybe you don't want, and you want it to be fairly flat. I think that would be a good way to do that. There, isn't that precious? And so you have a pocket here, which I think I'm going to do a thumb thing on these, but I've got to grab my, I don't think I have my circle punch over here, but I will do that at the end. So I am going to go and work on these other two and then come back on the end. I think you kind of get the idea, and then that way you guys can see the finished project. Alright y'all, so I'm ready to show my finished pockets, and I did go in there and do the little thumb tab so that you know it's a pocket. So here is the first one, and then we have this cutie. I love how that came out, and I used the leaf background, some orangey peach trim, the playful backed on 2 pieces of paper, the little peachy heart, and then the little girl with the pumpkin. And then last but not least, we have this one. and I used that really pretty blue and brown marbly background. I love this little girl. I think she kind of looks German. I did adventure backed on some paper. There is a piece of trim. You can kind of see it. It's this trim. What did I do with it? It's this trim that I had, that I got from Temu, in the background with the fringe. And then I did pick a quote out of the kit. It says, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." I thought that went good with adventure. And then I fussy cut this leaf off of this page here and added it to the corner because I felt like it kind of had fall vibes in a way. And so that is the third pocket. So let me know what you think. Let me know which pocket is your favorite. And I will hopefully be coming back in a week or two and show you the journal, and all these elements that I've been working on to go in the journal. So thank you again, Jovi, for inviting me to participate in this collab. It's been so fun. I'm really enjoying it. Still catching up on videos. Thank you to everybody that participated. We appreciate you guys so much. Jovi is an amazing creator, and I am in another collab with her starting in November. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'm not hosting with her, but I am participating, and I can't wait to see what everybody does. I will see you guys in the next one. Keep it sassy. Bye, y'all.